Hey guys, it's Woodscump here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to discuss about some really harsh news because as you can see for Bungie and the gaming industry, it could be a unpredictable, catastrophic disaster world for the gaming industry, and you don't know whether if there's a certain if there's like a certain consistency with the employment and everybody working at these companies. And unfortunately, I wanted to get this video out today so I can inform everybody about what's going on. Tomorrow's video I'll upload. It's like a Halo 3 mod that I showcase. To begin right with, let's look at the title of this: "The New Path for Bungie." It says, "This morning I'm sharing with you all some of the most difficult changes we've ever made as a studio due to rising costs in development." Let's keep that in mind now. I wonder what those rising costs of development are, and industry shifts, as well as enduring economic conditions. It has become clear that we need to make substantial changes to our cost structure and focus development efforts entirely on Destiny Marathon. That means beginning today, which is July 31st, 2024, as of this recording, 220 of our roles will be eliminated, which is literally 17% of the studio. These actions will affect every level of the company, including most of our executive and senior leader roles. So I'm wondering if that means they're going to be firing some of their own management on top, or the big people, because lately with last year's PR, like this was around like October 27th, they laid off a lot of old Bungie members, including like not to Michael Salvatore, the woman who created the Halo logo, and everybody else. Like that was really unexpected. But to see like another layoff as well, there is something going on here. But anyway, sorry. Today is a difficult and painful day, especially for our departing colleagues, all of which have made important and valued contributions to Bungie. Our goal is to support them with the utmost care and respect. No, you don't. That is an absolute malarkey. You got to realize that when people lay off people, they really mean they're gonna lay them off. There is no like, oh, here you go, here's like your eggs in basket, like go fun, have fun, find another company. No, it's gonna be a tough world. They're gonna have to find new jobs, new opportunities, and they're gonna have to live with that emotional sense of guilt that they've worked at the company for. And I'll get onto more of that later. But anyway, for anyone affected by this job reduction, we will be offering a generous exit package, including severance, bonus, and health coverage. Okay, so now there's some decency within that. So I take it back on my word that whenever they lay off people, but I don't know, severance, bonus, and health coverage, are they really gonna uphold their word on that? Because it seems kind of too good to be true. You gotta be like a realist and look at when people get laid off. Like, are they really pulling it out of their ass? Or are they actually being genuinely honest? I realize all of this is hard news, especially following the success we have seen with the final shape. But as we navigated the broader economic realities over the last year, and after exhausting all the other mitigation options, this has become a necessary decision to refocus our studio and our business with more realistic goals and viable financials. We are committing to two other major changes today that we believe will support our focus. Leverage Sony's strength. There it is. There's the keyword, Sony, and create new opportunities for Bungie talent. First, we are deepening our integration with Sony Interactive Entertainment, working to integrate 155 of our roles, which is 12% of the company, into SIE, which is Sony Interactive Entertainment, over the next few years. SIE has worked tirelessly with us to identify roles for as many as our people as possible, enabling us together to save a great deal of talent that would otherwise would have been affected by the reduction force. Secondly, we are working with PlayStation Studios leadership to spin out one of our incubation projects, an actual game set in a brand new science fantasy universe, to form a new studio within PlayStation Studios to continue its promising development. So are they actually talking about marathon right here, or are they talking about like another project that we really didn't know until now? They just like announced it. This will be a time of tremendous change for our studio. Let's unpack how we ended up in this position. It's important to understand how we got here. For over 5 years, so since 2019, when they were um, free from Activision in their contract, it's been our goal to ship games and three enduring global franchises. To realize that ambition, we set up several incubation projects, each seated with senior development team leaders from existing teams. We eventually realized that this model stretched our talent too thin too quickly. It also forced our studio support structures to scale to a larger level than we realistically support, given two primary products in development, Destiny and Marathon. Okay, so from what this sounds like, they're trying to do way too many things at once, like way too many ambitious things. So since 2019, when they were working on Destiny 2 and they like released New Light, they said several incubation projects, and what they mean by that is like projects they normally wouldn't discuss in public, but they rather keep behind doors. And they are like, and they're basically like, hey, let's set up like these brand new projects and have the seniors like work on them. But this also comes a drawback because now that they're focusing their talent and time onto it, they realize that the team that was supposed to be working on Destiny were stretched too thin. So now they got like this whole dilemma of like, what should we prioritize? The game that we're working on, like over the years with live service, or the new projects that we're working on? At least that's how I interpret it. I mean, let me know what you think. Additionally, in 2023, our rapid expansion ran headlong into a broad economic slowdown, a sharp downturn in the gaming industry. Our qualities missed with Destiny 2, Lightfall. Yeah. This expansion right here subdued everything that they did with Destiny, and the need to give both the final shape and Marathon the time needed to ensure both projects deliver at the quality our players expect and deserve. We were overly ambitious, our financial safety margins were subsequently exceeded, and we began running in the red. Okay, so basically, what they're saying is because of Lightfall's disappointment and their sales numbers, they were like, we gotta lay off people because this is just costing us too much, you know? And that's the thing with gaming companies as whole. Like, they try to make like these expansions of these projects, and if their sales doesn't meet their quotas, they gotta start trimming the budget or start trimming the team. And so that's what happened last year. Because Lightfall didn't make much money, they had to let go, like, unfortunately, some of the old members, and that's just really hard disheartening, to be honest, because that really shouldn't give them an excuse just to lay off people. Like, this is like absolutely ridiculous and absurd that Bungie has gone this far, Link, and over like the span of 30 years in their career to like start like risking everything they have into one thing, and then when it backfires or it doesn't successfully when it doesn't successfully work things out, they have to go to a winter contingency and just like let go everybody, you know. After this new trajectory became clear, we knew we had to change our course and speed, and we did everything we could to avoid today's outcome. Even with exhausted efforts undertaken across our leadership and productive teams to resolve our financial challenges, these steps were simply not enough. Oh, it was going to be inevitable. It was. This line right here, it was going to be inevitable because given the course development they have throughout the years, they knew they were going to lay off people eventually, and it just makes no sense. Like, no matter how hard they worked and try to make the final shape, like, to be, like, one of the, like, in their minds, the best, like, expansion they've worked with Destiny, they knew eventually that all things were going to come run to an end, so they had to lay off of like everybody who wasn't unbeknownst to just their sales not meeting. As a result, today we must say goodbye to incredible talent, colleagues, and friends. There's no specific names or anything, so we don't know who's getting laid off. This will be a challenging time at Bungie, and we'll need to help our team navigate these changes in the weeks and months ahead. This will be a hard week, and we know that our team will need time to process, to ask questions, and to absorb this news. And over the next several weeks, we will host team meetings and town halls, team breakout sessions, and private individual sessions to ensure we are keeping our communication open and transparent. Well, why don't you start by talking with your upper management team? Like, tell them like what's going on. Like this is absurd. Like I don't know what's going on in the Bungie, but like it looks like the upper management team is just not caring a lot. They're just all in from the money, like, and that's the thing. When Sony bought Bungie, that's the whole solely reason they wanted to have Bungie was because of that financial sales and how much profits they were making off of Destiny. They didn't care about the game at all. No. Like, let's be realistic here for a moment. Sony is a really big company, and there's a reason why they have like all these like franchises and IPs and medias under their belts because they want to have those financial like profits or resources incoming. I don't think they even care about their games at all. Like if you look at the amount of like PS5 exclusives since 2020, like there's barely any, and it's like ridiculously embarrassing that like there's like minimum like exclusives to the console as well. But anyway, Bungie will continue to make great games. We still have over 850 team members building Destiny Marathon, and we will continue to build amazing experiences that exceed our players' expectations. There will be a time to talk about our goals and projects, but today is not that day. Today, our focus is on supporting our people. Pete. And who is Pete Parsons, you might ask? Well, let's look him up and see what it is. Okay, so he is the CEO of Bungie. This is what it looks like. So if we look up here, um, says he came to Bungie from Microsoft in 2002 as an executive producer and studio manager. After working on Halo 2 and 3, he had a brief stint as an executive producer for Microsoft before joining Bungie's spinoff from Microsoft. Well, in case if you didn't know what that was, basically, Bungie had a contract with Microsoft that over the next 10 years from what was it 2001 to 2010 that they would make games under them, so like all the Halo games and all that. And then after 2010 when their contract was off, they were freely able to go on their own and like and that's how they like got entangled with Activision. While Bungie, Parsons also co-founded a company in 2007 called Meteor Solutions, which provides a variety of social marketing services to large companies like Microsoft, AT&T, and MTV Networks. Okay, and so he left to work on Bungie full time. Yeah, he's just basically like the big PR for the company. But anyway, um, I mean, this isn't too surprising to be honest. It still is unfortunate that people like lost their jobs, like 220 people. So that was, I think that was more than what they had last year. But honestly, it's just like unfortunate that all things have to come to like this just because their expansions and everything weren't meeting their sales or their quotas. So they had to start trimming the fat, and that's just really sad. I think that's about it for this article. We'll have to see what happens, and I'm not even sure what's going on, but I just want to say good luck to everybody who has been affected by the layoffs. I hope they find new opportunities out there. I hope they find like new paths to passionately put all their talents and career wise that they find a way to put food on the table because it is no joke with the gaming layoffs over the past 4 years and how like ridiculously abundant it has been, especially last year when there were like so many. And for anyone thinking, well, why don't like they go work for Microsoft? I mean, yeah, it could possibly they could apply to Microsoft and all, but if you think about it, Microsoft and Sony are still rivals in the gaming industry, and I'm not sure like what's going behind the scenes with their PR relations, but I don't know. We'll have to see about that. Excuse me. So yeah, other than that, this has been today's video. I just want to cover this news because I feel like it was important to emphasize on what just happened and like be the first to give the primary source of what's going on. Let me know below in the comments what you guys think and what will Bungie and Destiny Marathon be like in the future. Other than that, it's going to be a tumultuous time, and I hope everyone stays okay. This has been What's Up, and I'm signing off.